Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and this is
There
the
you go.
pre-match live: England versus Iceland. Our final friendly at Wembley Stadium tonight before the team head off for the Euros in Germany. So hopefully they'll give the fans a good send off in style as well, and putting a much better performance than Monday night. Although Monday night's game was a bit drab, but that was the way Bosnia play. They play with a low block, and in the end, yes, our class did tell at the end of it. But what you got to remember is a lot of big players that normally play first choice players were not playing. So, so he's got to sort of cut him a bit of slack there. John, how are you, mate?
I'm okay, Tony, apart from the trolls yet again on
Mm-hmm.
social media thinking that they're bigger than they think they are. And that's why I'm not got it live on X tonight. So, and everyone makes mistakes on social media. You know, you can tweet something and then you don't realize something else has gone on, which wasn't, if anything, it wasn't deliberate. Yeah. So I spoke to a few people and they're backing us up, Tony. But thanks very much for having us on, man. And even the chat.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Absolutely. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, before we get into the show and get into some comments, I mean, today, talking Newcastle United news, obviously, today saw the launch of this kit. Yes, the brand new Adidas kit. There it is there. And there's Harvey Barnes with it on as well. I've ordered mine. It looks a lovely kit. Yes, people are complaining about the price, £80. Look, it's £5 more than Castore last season. But what you got to remember is £5 of this goes back to the Newcastle United Foundation for every shirt sold. So I know there's a lot of people out there not happy about the price. And yes, but this is going to be the norm now for prices of shirts. Prices of shirts are expensive now. And I know people want to go elsewhere for them and whatever. That's fine. But the only way we can support this club is by buying the merchandise from the official club store or JD Sports as this partnership is now. Because that way, all monies from this is going into the club and helping the FFP situation. So, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, there's people out there who can't afford them. But, there is options out there for pay. You can pay it in 4 payments or whatever. So you don't have to pay it all down in one payment. So check them out. But I mean, I think the shirt's lovely, John. What's your take on the new shirt?
You know what it is like? First off, I'm glad Adidas has come back, and I think it's an amazing shirt as well. And but it's not enough stripes in it at all whatsoever. That's the thing, Tony. If it had loads more stripes in the black and white, then it would have been traditional. But at the end of the day, it's too wide on stripes. But other than that, for 80 quid, right? I mean, yes, that's the going price, which I think is fine. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, it is what it is. People are saying, oh, great, Adidas is coming back. Adidas is back. Yeah, cool. Adidas is back. We all know that. The bottom line is, right? And I'm going to say it now. People are still going to pay for it, Tony. They are still going to pay for it, yeah? And I wouldn't have a problem because I've ordered mine online today, right? Ordered mine shirt online today, which is good. And also as well, I'm just going to love it when it comes in. I should do a little vlog when I get it as well. And yeah, I mean, it's about time we got Adidas. Adidas is back home. Adidas come home. It's home. I cannot wait to see the away strip as well, which is blue and red hoops, which is back in the Saladon Rondon days under Rafa Benitez as well. So I can't wait for that. But I won't give them a rating set of 10 yet until I actually see it. So until I get it in my hand, I can't give it a ratings. But one thing I've got to say as well, they say I shouldn't be at St. James's today if I'm a proper fan. I'm a proper fan. Unfortunately, I'm in Bristol, yeah. So for those, he's calling me a fake fan or thinking that I'm a proper fan, go and cry to your mums, cry in your bedroom, cry to your mammy, yeah. But don't cry to us because I'll get mine next week.
Absolutely. Guys, don't forget, if you do like the show, then please don't forget to smash that like. It does help the channel. So please do give it a like. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and hit the subscribe. Come be part of this great community. I'm 27 away from hitting 1,200. Also, hit the bell notification to tell you when I'm live, have a pre-recorder when you come in shows. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that, clicking the join button. If you want to make a donation, you can do that in chat, clicking the super chat on the dollar sign, and all money reinvested back into the channel. Right. Now then, As we are talking, obviously the England team news is out. So there's the team news on screen. So the team is Ramsdale in goal, Kel Walker, Kieran Trippier, Declan Rice, John Stones, Mark Way, Cole Palmer, Kobe Mainoo, Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Anthony Gordon. So Gordon starts as well. On the bench, you've got Gomez, Henderson, Kwanzaa, Konza, Gallagher, Tony, Watkins, Alexander-Arnold, Bowen, Eze, Pickford, Wharton, Trafford, and Bukayo Saka making up the bench. Look, that is a good team tonight. Obviously, we've got to watch what Ramsdale's out in goal. But that team's an attacking team. I mean, John, yesterday we saw the England squad announced. Obviously, Gordon and Trippier were in there. Maguire left out. Now, this is supposed to be a down to an injury, but I'm not so sure about that. I think there's more to it than that. I think maybe Southgate's thinking he wants to go down a different route. Grealish is out the squad. Some people are saying, why is he out the squad? He should be in there, but he hasn't played well. Maddison's accepted the fact he hasn't been playing well since he had his injury. I mean, are you happy with that 26-man squad? And is that a squad that can win the Euros? Because I think it absolutely can. And it looks like Southgate's going on the attacking Euros with all them attacking players.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 9 attacking players going in the 26. And you know what it is? I think Southgate's being bold here. He really is being bold. I think it's a great move from him. Frank Lampard called it right, said that it's the golden generation, and he thinks it's an attacking threat, which I think is brilliant. And you know what it is, right? I mean, look at that team, right? The defense can be a bit of a worry, a little bit. I mean, yes, they need, if John Stones is fit, the guy's world class. Yeah, he's a world class defender when he is fit. Yeah. Who's going to play alongside him? That's the $1 million question. Will it be Gooey? Lewis Dunk's in the team as well. He's in the squad as well. I'm not sure about him, to be fair. Yeah, I didn't think he had a great season, right? But Gooey, Konsa, I like Konsa as well. He's quick and he could play the ball out for the back as well. But I think that's a very interesting team there. But in the midfield, I think he's got the midfield right. And James Maddison, I know Gary's in the chat, Gary Richards as well. I don't think James Maddison's had a particularly good season. He started well, not going to lie, but he phased out a little bit. But his performance hasn't been that great. He's had a lot of injuries as well, which hasn't helped them. But do you know what it is, right? I mean, I look at the team. He's going for it. I think Gareth Southgate is going for it. Can we win the Euros? If anyone beats France or anyone gets past France, they win that Euros. It's simple as that. But like you said, Ramsdale, they have to look at him. He's in the squad anyway, let's be real. But it's good to see as well. Kobe Mainoo. I'm a massive fan of this guy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a massive fan of Kobe Mainoo. I think he's a really, really fantastic young midfielder as well as destined for the very top. I spoke to Flawless last night, Tommy Shaw, and he got high hope for this guy. And Foden's good to see him. I can see it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 tonight. And that looks a good team. But going to the 26, I think Gareth's got it right. I think, what's his name? I think the ones that got dropped, I think it's the right decision. Jack Grealish, I like Jack, but at the end of the day, I mean, he hasn't played many games for Man City. That's one of them. But Gareth Southgate is going for players on form. That's what I like, yeah. But he's still got to win us the big one. He's got to win us the big one. It's as simple as that. Because if he doesn't, then I think he could be going anywhere. But I like the team tonight. The 26-man team, I think you've got it absolutely just spot on.
What you got to look at, John, as well, in that 26-man squad, right? Now, it's normally England squads in the past have been made up of players from all the big teams, all the top 6 or whatever. Mm-hmm. You've actually got 4 Crystal Palace players in that team.
Yeah.
You've got Dean Henderson, you've got Eze, you've got Guay, and you've got Adam Morton. Now, Adam Morton, apparently, we wanted him at the start of last season. Eddie Howe wanted him. Yep. But Eddie Howe's nephew, Andy Pandy, said no. You didn't think you'd be good enough. Now, if his nephew is saying stuff like this and blocking transfers that we should have gone for,
Mhm.
then I hope a director of football hurries up and comes in and tells him, no, I have the last say, not you. Because, look, Adam Morton has been absolute class. And I mean, he was in the Championship. He came to Crystal Palace in January. Now he's in the England team. And do you know what? He's the type of player that you could bring off the bench and he could try and make something happen for you.
Mhm. I totally agree. I mean, Adam Wharton's been absolutely fantastic since coming Palace. I'm going to be honest with you. I never heard of the guy until he played for Palace. Never heard of this guy at all whatsoever. Yeah, until Ollie Glasner put him in the team, and he has been an absolute revelation for that Palace team. I spoke to a few Palace fans, by the way, right, on the group chats, and they got high hopes for this kid. Yeah, but it's the first time I've seen Eddie was after Adam. But at the end of the day, right, if that is true, you're right, Tony. We need a director of football real quick, or sporting director real quick. It's been, what, 3-4 months now? What is going on? What is going on? There's people out there. Get them in very quickly, man. Don't worry about Dan Ashworth. Sod him, yeah? Get someone in right now, right? Because they're in June. We haven't got much time. If it's going to be Paul Mitchell, get him in. If it's going to be Luis Campos, get him in, yeah? Get him in, like, because at the end of the day, right, I'm not going to lie, we desperately need a winning. Otherwise, Ed's going to take control and he end up getting all English players. Do you know what I mean? But I love Eddie, but Tony, you're right. We need to get someone in. And as for his nephew, what's it got to do with him? What is the hell it's got to do with him? He ain't the manager, yeah?
Apparently,
Eddie's
he
the
said
manager.
it transfers, John.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you what, I'm not being funny. He's not doing a good job, any man. He's not. We need a director of football coming in real quick, get them in, pay the money, get that one in. Someone who is a winner.
Yeah.
Someone who knows what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise,
yeah,
we're going to get players coming in and we're going to end up getting the wrong signings, man.
I'm just going to go to Lorraine's comment here. I'm going to go through some comments anyway. Good evening, everybody, by the way. Lorraine says, any truth in the Sandro Tonali injury? Injured 5 weeks ago and trained, apparently. I've not heard nothing about that. But if he is injured and it's not a bad one, then he's got plenty of time to recover. So I'm not worrying too much, but I've not heard that he's had an injury. Have you, John?
That's the first time I've ever heard of that one, Lorraine. That's the first ever time I've seen that. But if it's true, then, well, that's not good, man. But is he in the Italian team? No, he's banned, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's banned, John.
He's
banned August, so
there's nothing we can do about it. But if he's injured 5 weeks, then that's the first we know about it. But the club hasn't told us anything yet, so we don't know that. Yeah. So you know what it is? The bottom line is, let's be real. Just you just see it pans out, just wait and see. But you know what? Nothing's been said about Newcastle. Hey ho. Nah, nothing.
Mad Max. Lorraine says the shirts probably cost £20 cost price and they're making them in. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot markup on these shirts. We know that, Lorraine. But at the end of the day, look, you know, you love your team, you're going to have the shirt, aren't you? And the way I look at it is, look, you know, we're helping the club out as well. So that, you know, unfortunately, the costs go up these days. That's the problem. Pete says, I'm loving it. The fitting is perfect too for me. Yeah, it's not like a store, is it, where you got to go size up?
Big up Pete, by the way, man. And you know what it is with Pete, right? I see him today on the pick, right? My guy, Pete, my guy, he's watching, yeah, because at the end of the day, I love him because he's so passionate. He's like a son to me, Pete. He is like a son to me. And I'll tell you what, right? He gets a lot of stick as well. And we've got to look after him, man. But he does good content. Do follow the PD product, by the way. Get this guy subscribed. I'm telling you, the food pick is fantastic. Bosh.
Yeah. Mad Max says, I got mine today as a Father's Day present. Great quality. The tune patch is mint quality on the £80 one, Tony. Excellent, excellent. You got just in time, guys, says Lorraine, because apparently the home kit's now sold out of stock online.
I've ordered mine online. I've ordered mine online about 11ish, 12 o'clock, something like that. So I should get mine in about 5 days. Hopefully.
Plenty in JD, but I understand people want to get it from the club shop, says Mad Mac. Julie says, bit nervous about Ramsdale, Pickford's a mag on, but he's first class in an England shirt. Yeah, he is, absolutely.
The thing is, right, why are people having a go at Jordan Pickford in an England shirt? I mean, why are they having a go at him? I mean, I understand if you play for Everton, okay, cool, do what you have to do. But for England, have we got to get behind English players? We have to, haven't we, man?
I mean, the thing is, John, right? The other night, we had people in the chat saying, well, why are we playing Bosnia? And what I explained was the reason we're playing Bosnia is because our first game's against Serbia, and all these teams from them countries play with the same sort of low block. So it's a way of having a bit of practice against a team like that to break them down to get through the low block. And that's what it was. And what I don't get is a lot of people are like, they'll say, it's a friendly and we've played absolutely rubbish. And it's like, well, look, okay, sometimes it's not the best football, international football. It's always cagey. When we play our first game against Serbia next Sunday, that's going to be a difficult game because, look, Serbia's got some good players, but not only that, it's they're going to be cagey because they don't want to lose the game. They want to try and get a draw or sneak a win if they can. And that's what it's like a game of chess, and you've just got to suss your opponent out and hit them. But look, I think the problem is when you got these friendlies, is players don't want to put too much in because they don't want to get injured before a tournament, which is understandable. So I think once the tournament starts next Sunday, like for England, I mean, obviously it starts next Friday with Scotland and Germany. But look, I think once it starts next Sunday, I think you'll see an attacking England team. And look, just remember last year, Anthony Gordon, player of the tournament for the under-21s when they won it. Can lightning strike twice? We'll see. But I tell you now, it wouldn't surprise me if Anthony Gordon goes there and puts in blinding performances throughout the tournament and see how far we go. And who knows? Who knows? It could just be the England bring it back. We should have brought it back 3 years ago. Maybe Southgate's learned from that now, and let's hope we go there. I mean, we're playing in Gelsenkirchen. I think the first game is. I think Gelsenkirchen, if you remember, go back to the 2006 World Cup when we had the Ronaldo wink, when he got rid of Rooney off the pitch, when he got him sent off, and Ronaldo winked at the camera, the little twat what he is. But look, everybody give Ronaldo a lot of stick. He got a lot of trolling over that, and rightly so, because it was disgusting the way he went on. It was absolutely terrible what he'd done. He knew what he was doing. He knew to wind Rooney up. And obviously they're friends now, but they weren't at the time when they went back to the club because they had to be separated because, things were kicking off between them. I mean, do you remember that, John, Gelsenkirchen, when Portugal beat us on penalties?
I can remember that very, very, very well. I mean, yeah, I can remember that. I mean, Ronaldo, I think it's unprofessional there. When he did that to Rooney, like winked at him as well, didn't get along there. But you know what it is, right? I mean, we just didn't do enough. We had a couple of chances, just didn't do enough. Do you know what I mean? But the penalties outdone us. I mean, what it really matters is fine margins. Yeah, we just didn't get the job done because we missed some poor penalties, man. And they had Lampard and Gerrard in the midfield, which didn't work. It didn't work in the midfield. Did not work at all. And I just can't put a finger on it. Yeah. One of the tactics, but it is what it is, man. But I think Ronaldo was wrong for doing that to Rooney.
And Alan says, evening, guys, new season will be here before we know it. The Euros are there. And then the season, England, good chance to win it. Absolutely, Alan. The thing is, Alan, this is what I've said. We've got a month of football. Let's enjoy a month of football. And once that's finished in July, you're then going into pre-season. And then once pre-season's done, we're then in August. So look, it's extending the football season. And I think everybody loves that as well. And Splat says, even Tony John and all in the chat, I'm going to miss the match. Got to go to work, bollocks lol. Unfortunately, yeah, that's a shame, mate.
Sorry to hear that, Splat. Sorry to hear that, man.
Hopefully it's a good win and you can catch up with it on the highlights as well. I mean, look, people might say, "Oh, Iceland's an easy win tonight." yes, okay, you may look at it and think it should be, but just cast your mind back 8 years ago under Roy Hodgson at the Euros in France. What happened? Iceland beat us 2-1. Remember that game? And that was the game that Roy Hodgson stepped down afterwards. But look, I can't see we're getting beat off Iceland tonight.
No.
But that was a really, really low in our history to get beaten off Iceland. No disrespect to Iceland, but to get beat off them, that was bad, wasn't it, John? Back in 2016.
It was just embarrassing to be an England fan that evening. Do you know what I mean? I thought we were poor, absolutely poor. Yeah, the goals conceded were shocking as well. I mean, that was the last game under Roy Hodgson. He had to go after that. I mean, I'm glad he left the club because he would have been sacked anyway after that. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
this is our biggest opportunity to go all the way, and it hadn't happened. But it just goes to show when it really matters. Yeah, we're just a quarterfinal team. We are a quarterfinal team, and he just couldn't take us any further. Did they play film on the night? Probably not, but it was just embarrassing. Poor watch, and
yeah.
At the end of the day, right? I mean, Iceland came and did a job on us, and we just weren't good enough. That's it.
Yeah. One game that's finished so far, which was a 4:30 kickoff, and it's Czechia because they're called Czechia now, not Czech Republic. They're Czechia. So remember that one. They beat Malta 7-1. And currently at the moment, Belarus are losing 2-0 to Russia at half time. But I'll give you the Iceland team. So in goal, it's Valdemarsson. Then in defence, they've got Gretarsson, Bjarkarsson, Finson, Ingerson. Then you've got Traustason, Heraldsson, Anderson. Not Ali Anderson, by the way. Tornsteinson, Gudmundsson from Burnley, who's the captain, and Andri Gudjonsson. So that is the lineup for Iceland. I was able to see their names a little bit easier than the Bosnia and Herzegovina players. But yeah, look, I mean, we don't really know a lot of Iceland players, to be fair, apart from obviously the main one, which is the one who plays for Burnley, the 33-year-old captain. Yeah. But look, we should win that game tonight. If we don't win that game, there's something wrong. And I hope we put on a performance tonight that not only sends out a sellout Wembley home happy, but also, you know, that the team can go off with a great send-off. The fans will all stay behind, give them a good send-off. You know, I've been to one of these games before, you know, where we've played, and I think we played Paraguay. I think it was I can't remember which one it was now. I think it was for the 2014 World Cup for the send-off for that. And look, you know, I remember that game, and yeah. And it was lovely to stay there and give them a send-off. If I could have got a ticket, I would have gone tonight. I went to go and get a ticket, but they were sold out by the time I went on. You know, but yeah, let's hope England put on a performance tonight. Love to see Anthony Gordon bang a goal in. That would be fantastic. And get an assist or whatever. Some people are not happy that Saka's on the bench, but, you know, at the end of the day, Gareth Southgate's got to try different players, and he's got to get them ready for the tournament as well. So, you know, we know Luke Shaw's probably not going to make it until probably the knockout stages. I think he's taking a risk taking Luke Shaw, if I'm honest. But he's keeping Quansah around the squad just in case anybody does fail, and he can put him in there. But if not, he will be released back to Liverpool or to go on his holidays wherever he wants to go in the world. But look, we can't wait for the game to start. Ethan says, fuming, I'm working down Southend and called the JD there and asked if they had the new shirt. And he said, no, we only stock the big clubs, the cheek of the twat. I mean, look, that's typical, isn't it? You know, at the end of the day, if we've got a partnership with JD Sports, they should sell that shirt in every store, UK, wherever a store is, even if it's a store in Europe, worldwide. They should sell that regardless. Doesn't matter if we're not part of that so-called Big Six clan, you know? What do you think of that, John? I mean, that's bad, isn't it?
I mean, that comment there, or?
about JD Sports and Southend saying they only stock the big clubs.
That is absolutely shocking. I went down Southend and called the JD there as it had the Snoociers and the FSN no, we only stock the big clubs. I tell you something, right? Find out the club, find out the store, right? Speak to the manager, right? And have a word with him. Have a word with him, man. Because I tell you something now, right? I mean, look, and by the way, Ethan, I caught you out by the way the other day about the final captain. Yeah, so there you go. Hope you well, man. Yeah, you're right. I think that's shocking customer service, man. That's absolutely poor customer service.
Disgusting.
It's absolutely disgraceful. Yeah, that's the arrogance. What arrogance, man? I would have took his name. I would have gone down myself and speak to the manager. Do you know what I mean? I think that's disrespectful for Newcastle, Villa, West Ham. Then again, West Ham's off after Southend, by the way. Are you not going to call them a big club? How we? I think it's disgraceful, man. And I tell you what now, right? I mean, probably he might be a Man City fan or an Arsenal fan or Spurs fan, hating Newcastle United, thinking, I don't want to talk about Newcastle. You know what I mean? But listen, some people, strange people online, over the phone as well, I don't get it, man. I'm glad you mentioned that to us, Ethan, because I tell you what, I mean, Ethan, if I was you tomorrow, mate, ring them up again, speak to your manager, right? Speak to your manager and tell them what happened, what you're telling us, and find out the names as well.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, it's just bang out of order, really. That, I mean, look, that's appalling service, and yeah, absolutely, I would report them. I would absolutely report them, me, and say, look, you know, I thought you're supposed to be selling this kit everywhere else, and you know, we're getting told, oh, because we're not a big club, you don't stock them. It's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Yeah, so, I totally agree. That's poor customer service there. I mean, I'll tell you, who's been training them up, by the way? I'm not being funny, but who's training these up? Customer service, yeah? That's the first thing you do. You got to train customer service, yeah? I've been around the world, right? In America, I've been to Italy, you know, and the customers are first class there. Here, it's still lacking. It's still lacking.
Yeah, absolutely, John. It's it's absolutely disgraceful, if you ask me. It really is. I would be fuming. I would be absolutely fuming if somebody said that to me.
As well, Tony. At the end of the day, right? I think it's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. I tell you what, I wouldn't be going to JD's in Southend. I'll go elsewhere.
No. Yeah, absolutely. And what I do like about the new shirt is, thank God we have got rid of the red numbers and letters. I have always hated them. I never liked them one bit. And I was so pleased we have now finally got rid of them and we've got the black numbers. Thank you. Because I really hate the red numbers. I do not like. I know we had them in the 80s, but then that fat cockney brought them back, and I absolutely hated the red numbers. I did not like them at all. What about you, John?
I'll kind of agree, because they used to have red numbers at the back. Remember Malcolm McDonald made his first appearance for Newcastle United? They had red numbers. I think they had red numbers at the back. I think they had red numbers before, but I don't see any red on the black and white shirt again. I really don't. Yeah? But, didn't like it at all. But they seen sense. They listened to us finally. Bosh.
He's rang customer services and said they would tell him to be careful and to see it, but that's it. I mean, that's shocking, because really they should have given you an apology. They should have said, you know, it shouldn't have been said. They should be looking into it. Do you know what I'd do? Do you know what I'd do, Ethan? I wouldn't accept that, what they've said to you. I would email customer services now at JD Sports and say, look, this is not good. This is not good at all. And obviously you want them to look into this. So I would send them an email, and then you've got it in writing as well, and see what they come back to you with. It only takes a few seconds to send an email, so I would just send an email and say, there you go. Put a complaint in. Because, you know, it won't hurt to put a complaint. You never know. You know, they might give you a voucher, so you don't know. But if you email customer services, because somebody on the phone might just say, "Oh yeah, okay, whatever," and just get you off the phone. But when it's in writing and it's in an email, that'll hit them where it hurts as well. So I would send an email. Just send them an email and see what they say. That's all you can do. And even if you can get the club shop's email as well for Newcastle United, then maybe copy them in as well, so they'll get a copy of it as well, so they can see the complaint as well. So
Yeah, man.
There's avenues there to go down. So try that. I mean, pity you couldn't get like someone like Peter Silverstone's email, for the club. I'm sure it's on somewhere. If you could, then obviously you could tag Peter in it and say, look, there you go. And then he would get in touch and find out what's going on. So there's avenues, but I would definitely send an email in for sure and put it in writing. I wouldn't accept somebody saying that over the phone. Certainly not. I would email in, like I did with Castor. I emailed into them, and they even knocked off the delivery charge for me because of my complaint. So yeah, I would do that. I would just write in and say to them, look, you're not happy and you want the situation resolved. And I mean, you agree, John, with that? Would you email as well?
I would 110%, but at the same time, would they get back to you? Or they just give you a standard letter sort of thing and just forget all about it? For me, you got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, yeah? And I would, even if you're watching, man, send them an email. Just tell them how appalled that you'd be treated over the phone when they said those comments. Maybe it's a tongue-in-cheek to them, but it's not a tongue-in-cheek for you. Your prospective customer, you're going to pay the money for 80 quid if they got the shirt, yeah? All I was to say was, look, okay, we haven't got any, and that's it. Move on. But to come out and say that, it's just a bit of pill to swallow. I like to banter. You like to banter, Tony. The chatter love to banter as well, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But you get people, it might be a troll at the other end of the phone, yeah? It's as simple as that, yeah? But one thing I will say, right?
Yeah.
The customer's always right, number one. Secondly, you treat a customer how you'd like to be respected back. It's all about respect. And I'm sorry, it's just one of those things. Tony, just before you go on to the next comment, right? I've got a DM, right? I think Lizzie Clark is watching me might be watching the show, right? And I'll make it short and I'll make it sweet, yeah, quickly, right? She said, hi, I love your comments. Always enjoy watching. Keep it up. Now, that's from Lizzie Clark, right, on Twitter. And she's the real one. She is a real one. And I tell you what, Lizzie, if you're watching, thanks very much. And Ethan, V2, thanks for your comment as well, man. See, look, both supporting me, right? The way I've been driven online, right? Some of our fan base, right? And I hope they're watching, yeah? Some of our fan base, the trolls, right? I'm going to tell you now, they deserve slapping. They deserve a good slapping. Each and every one of them for trolling people, yeah? Calling me out, yeah? And then someone, I will mention one day, I'm going to mention her name on my show, right? I'm going to have a go at her on Sunday while I'm back on a live show, right? So keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. Next comment, Tony.
Ethan says we've got exclusive rates, JD, and they don't sell in all shops. It's bad. Yeah, it is, Ethan. Absolutely. Okay. I totally agree, mate. As I say, Ethan, I would email them. I would absolutely email them with a complaint because, look, that's the only way you can do it. Because that's what you need to do, just complain. And then, obviously, if you don't get any help through that, then obviously you take it further again. So there's avenues you can go to. We can escalate these things. So I would definitely look into it and say, look, just put in your email that you spoke to somebody, but nobody got back. Well, they got back to you, but said, that you didn't find them very helpful at all. So you want somebody to look into it for you. And do you know what? That's what I would do. Absolutely. If you go on to JD Sports website, contact us on there. You put your name, your email address in. You put in your subject, so you put a chosen topic in. So I don't know if there's anything on there about that. It doesn't say anything on there about a customer service inquiry, but you know, you can put something in there and just but yeah, there's ways and means of doing it, but yeah, there's definitely a customer service form there as well, and then you've got head office address as well. So look, I would put something in the customer service form and just say, look, even if you just put on there, you know, I don't know what subject you can pick, because unfortunately they don't have anything in there in terms of it for a complaint. So you could put something like, I'm having problems with your website, something like that, and then you could just go in there and just tell them exactly what you think and what happened, and see if they'll come back to you on that one, because it really is poor as well. So yeah, so I would try and do that. Try and get an email to them as somehow, and that's the best way to do it, I would say. And if you've got it in writing, it's even better, because they can't worm out of it. Because not only that, when you send an email, it goes in your sent box, and you have a hard copy of it. And what I always say is, and this is a personal preference, but what I always do is, when I get an email and I send an email off, if it's a complaint, I'll print a hard copy off as well, so I've got it in case for any reason it gets deleted out your box. Then you've got the hard copy that you've printed off, and you've got it there. Many a time I've had complaints about something, and I've had to refer to my hard copy, and I've been thankful that I've actually printed that off and kept a copy of it. So that's a good tip as well, by the way.
Even if you're watching, mate, you're a young lad. I'm sure you're a young lad. Like, you know what? You're bigger than them. Just think you're bigger than them. I'll get trolled. Tony gets trolled. Pete gets trolled as well. Most YouTuber gets trolled. Yeah, you just stand firm, man. Because at the end of the day, right? I mean, you're better than them lot, and you know, just take your custom elsewhere. Someone's gonna care.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen today Chelsea have signed Torsen on a 4-year contract, surprisingly a 4-year deal. So he's obviously gone to Chelsea now. Chelsea are now after James Trafford as well. I mean, look, do Chelsea actually have scouts? Because I'm just beginning to wonder if they do. It just seems to be every time we have somebody that we want, they seem to go in there. I mean, I probably wouldn't be too miffed if they took James Trafford, in all honesty. But look, what's your thoughts on that, John? They now want Trafford.
Say again, sorry.
Yeah, Chelsea he's got a 4-year deal, but Chelsea now want Trafford now, because we're in for him.
They could have him. They could have Trafford. I'm not going to lie. I don't think he's going to improve us as the keeper. Look, I like him. He's got potential, yeah. But at the end of the day, the keeper I want is my dad is Philly. I mean, you know, whether we're going to get him or not, I don't know. But I think the copper in this, Tony. I mean, Tosin, right? He can go to Chelsea, yeah. He doesn't have to. The reason, right? I mean, to his defence, right? I know people's having a go at him because he's putting money. To his defence, he's in London, and maybe he does want to leave London. Yeah, I mean, if you look at both sides, he's saying he denies money has nothing to do with the move. But if you flip on the other side, he wants to stay in London with his family. Yeah, so he has got far to uproot. Yes, he's a Manchester lad, but maybe he's happy staying in London. Do you know what I mean? But really make of it what you will.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, yeah, you've got that job. He doesn't have to move because he can stay in West London. But, you know, I just don't like the way Chelsea do that business. I really don't. We need to, you know, and I mean, look, we've got fans laughing at us online saying, supposed to be the richest club, but they've got to sell to buy. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, they need to do their homework and realise why we have to sell to buy. It's because we haven't got the income. And the income got strangled even more because of these stupid rates that we have to go through the Premier League to have fair market value. Now, if Man United sell Casemiro to the Saudis for 75 million quid, and yet they were humming and hawing about Alan St. Maximin, whether he's worth £25 million or not. It's absolutely disgusting. It really is. And it really, really irks me, this, because at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter how much we sell a player for. If the Saudis come in and buy Miggy Almiron for 30 million quid, you bet your bottom dollar the Premier League will go through that to make sure it's fair market value. It's absolutely disgusting. But if it was Chelsea or anyone else, or Man United, it'll be like, it's fine, go on, off you go. We'll not even look at it. We'll just brush it aside. You know, it stinks. It stinks. It stinks of corruption.
I agree.
Look, I know if we've got to move somebody out before the end of June to balance the books for this FFP, which is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope Miggy Almiron, if he is told that he has to leave and he says, I don't want to, I hope he realises for the sake of it and thinking, well, actually, if I do go, I'm helping the club out. Because, look, Maxi didn't want to go. But what Maxi done was he said, it's benefiting the club, so I will go. And that's why he left. And Maka makes a great point there. He says, how much is Maxi worth now? I bet it's less than what we sold him for.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, right, I mean, big up to ASM, fair play to him, saying that he had to leave for benefit of the club. But we look at players we've got, right, like Miggy. He's currently said he doesn't want to be leaving Newcastle. I think he's got 2 years left on his contract, so he don't want to go anywhere, right? But what if he doesn't play? What if he's not on the first team? He's going to sit on the bench for the whole of the season and just take the money? Because I like players who've got self-respect. I mean, you're a professional footballer, Tony. You're a professional footballer, right? You go to another club for the same money, right, or slightly less. You want to be playing. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, one day, you can sit on the bench. Then the following season, if there's like a World Cup, right, then, I'm not being funny, and he gets dropped for Paraguay, for example, saying that you're not playing, son, because you're not playing enough games, then serves him right. Because at the end of the day, right, you've got to be playing football every single week. Do you know what I mean? Or minimum 30 games a season, yeah? Because I tell you what, right, there are some people like, I love Miggy, everyone knows that, but for the benefit of our club, benefit for himself, he needs to be away and play in Saudi, yeah? That's the thing. But we're not going to sell Isak. We're not going to sell Bruno Guimaraes. We're not going to sell Gordon. There's no way of that because that's never going to happen, yeah? But let's get rid of the players that are deemed not good enough. We know who they are, Tony. Yeah. We know who they are.
Yeah. Maxi's worth about 18 million quid. So his value hasn't dropped an awful lot, let's be honest.
Not really.
So he hasn't it hasn't dropped an awful lot. But yeah, I mean, look, this is what we need. We need players to say, yes, okay, as much as we don't want to leave the club, we'll have to leave the club because we have to leave the club because it's going to benefit the club in the long run for generating of money and things like that. And look, at the end of the day, players like Almiron, Longstaff, Wilson, after thinking at the end of the day that obviously they're not part of the future, they're not going to be part of the club because the club wants to go in a different direction. So these players have now got to realise they've got to move on. And, that's absolutely correct. And just going on to Ethan's comment, by the way, he says a new name linked today is Marcin Bulka from Nice, 6'6" goalkeeper, 24-year-old from Poland. Last season he got 17 clean sheets in 34 games, 20 million quid. I mean, look, I'm just looking at Marcin Bulka now.
You got to love Ethan as well, Tony, because he's so you got to love Ethan as well because you're trying to catch us out on final captain as well. And I didn't read out the tweet. And the final captain is Gunnar Trone, and that's his name. And he gave us a different name, but carry on. Go on, Tony, man.
Yeah, he played 34 games, team of the week twice. Yeah, like you say, he got 17 clean sheets. He only got 2 yellow cards all season. And his accurate passing per game is 84%, 40 touches per game he gets at least. Saving, he's had 2 errors that's led to a shot. He's had 1 error that's led to a goal. But his ball recoveries per game is 7.5, which is rather impressive for a goalkeeper, let's be honest. Look, that's not a bad shout, I don't think. So again, we'll see. I mean, you know, look, we've seen Chesney in the Premier League, Polish keeper. He's done well. Fabianski is another one who done well. Look, Polish keepers have come in and played well in the Premier League. So again, it's one of those. I'm sure the club are looking, so we'll find out anyway.
You know what it is like, Tom? He hasn't played many games in Ligue 1, right, before he moved to Nice. And he only had one game with Nice on a season-long loan. They must have liked him because he only played one game 21-22 season. And then from 22 onwards, he has been all the way. But he has been at Chelsea, by the way, for 3 seasons in his youth career. So he has been in the Premier League, but he played in the youth side. So I think Chelsea might have first choice. You know what? Chelsea might get him as well.
Yeah. Macca says we sold maximum for £10 million more than his value now. Sounds like great business. Absolutely.
I agree.
The England team Southgate's pick. It's not a bad side, Trevor. Let's be honest. Yeah, okay, I'm a bit concerned about Ramsdale in goal. But apart from that, no, let's see how they get on. I want to see Anthony Gordon excel, and I want to see Trippier. Trippier's obviously going to be playing at left back. We've seen a lot of fans saying, why is Trippier playing for? You know, or why is Trippier in that squad? He shouldn't be in that squad because, you know, he's too old and everything. And say, but the thing is, though, Trippier is good from dead balls. We've seen that. Go back to 2018 World Cup when he put us ahead against Croatia in the semi-final, you know, from his free kicks. So again, we'll see what happens. Nicola Dalby says, got a funny feeling we'll sell Wilson to Saudi before the end of June. I have as well. I totally agree, Nicola. Catch us later. Tony says, Splat and John, all in the chat. Work calls. Ta-ta for now. How are the lads? See you later,
Splat. You take us that enjoy the game tonight, man.
Chelsea Bulker. Chelsea going for Bulker as well, says Kishan.
I tell you what, Tony, they're after everyone which moves. Everything we move, Chelsea's after them as well. Because the thing is, right, I mean, we finished above them. We've got Champions League and they finished above us this season. But do you know what? They want to watch us. They want to see what we do in the transfer market. Do you know what I mean? I mean, yes, Chelsea is London, set that. But are you going to get a game, though? You're not going to get a game, are you, going to Chelsea, man? You got Eddie Howe. Who you want to play for? Eddie Howe or Enzo Maresca? I'm not going to lie, but we said the other day that Maresca ain't going to last. I don't think he's going to last at all whatsoever. He's just a yes man. And he should have stayed at Leicester for one more year because he had full control at Leicester. Now he's turned to Chelsea. He's going to be a yes man. Do you know what I mean? He's just going to coach the team. That is it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mick says, what do you think about Ratcliffe getting players from his team in France on the cheap? Again, this is what I'm saying, you know. And yet when we were going to go to Saudi, there was a big vote on it and everything. There was a meltdown, wasn't there? So this is what I'm saying. It's one rule for one rule for the other. It's all right for Ratcliffe to go and get players from Nice. But as soon as we do something from one of the 4 PIF-owned clubs, like when we were going to get Neves in, the meltdown was tremendous, wasn't it? Absolutely. And I think Dan Ashworth done that on purpose because he knew there would be a meltdown in the Premier League, and he was right. And I hope he's enjoying his gardening at the moment. I hope the weather stays nice for you that weekend, Dan, so you can keep your garden prim and proper.
Yeah.
Trevor says at least he dropped old big head, slapheads Maguire. Yeah, absolutely. Barbara says, very good evening, John and Tony. Should be a good game. Yeah, good evening, Barbara. It should be.
The real one. Absolutely. Absolute real one. She's been on our shows before. She is the real one.
Yeah. Alan says, what about Nico Williams? Seems to be on par with Gordon, only on the right. Yes, we've heard that one going around. Because I think his valuation's about 36 million pound or something, or 40 million, whatever it is. But look, he's on high wages, we know that. But again, it could. Do you know what? I would have Nico Williams. Absolutely. Is he not great on Almiron? Definitely.
I agree. The thing is, I mean, I take him. Oh, carry on, Tony. Carry on. I'll shut up.
No. Yeah, no, John. No, I mean, Nico Williams, yeah.
I tell you what, I take him, right? Even in front of Garnacho as well. I don't rate Garnacho, by the way. I just don't think it's that good. I'm not going to lie. But Nico Williams, yes, he's direct, he's quick. And Do you know what? I mean, it can be over elaborate sometimes, you know what I mean? It can be over elaborate as well. His final balls at times and can be a bit iffy. But you know what? I quite like him. I think he's a good player. He really is. Built
Yeah,
now, he's the world of him, man.
absolutely. Ethan says one thing that annoys me most in the media is hardly no mention of Gordon playing on the left for England. It's all about Rashford and Grealish not making it and how Eze needs to start.
Facts.
This is the thing. This is the thing. Look, they're all about Rashford and Grealish. They've not been good enough this season. Rashford is diabolical. And I don't think he's that great now, Rashford. I'm sorry, he's not. I've said this on on my shows many times during the season. Some people have laughed at me. Some people have said, oh, I think you're a bit far there. But I'm not. I've said Anthony Gordon is the best English left winger in the Premier League at this moment in time. He is miles ahead of Marcus Rashford, miles ahead of Rashford, and he's streets ahead of Grealish at the moment. Yes, Grealish is good for going down and getting cheap free kicks. But look, and wearing his socks around his ankles just about. But look, at the end of the day, we need players who are on form. Anthony Gordon has got double figures in goals and assists this season, or for last season. He's been one of the most improved players in the Premier League and deserves his chance. He was player of the tournament for under-21s last year, when they went on and won the trophy. So that can only help England this time around as well. So look, at the end of the day, Marcus Rashford, Jack Grealish, not been good enough, not played much by their clubs, tells you why. So at the end of the day, the media need to stop this now and start supporting England football team as they are now, the 26 that's in there. I mean, John, have you got a scoreline prediction for tonight then?
It should be an easy win. I'm gonna go. We're not gonna push our time. We're gonna win 3-0 tonight. And you know, if we get 3-0, we just take the foot off the gas as well. We're not gonna go for a pelt because obviously you've got a big game on Sunday week against Serbia. So I'm gonna go with 3-0. It's gonna be a good performance. And let's say, come on, England!
Well, John, I'm going bold. I'm going to say 4-0.
Okay, cool.
I could see it happening.
Fair enough. You normally get your scores right, don't you? I mean, Lorraine's very good on the scores as well, by the way, Lorraine. So, but 4-0. Okay. Give us your score. Give us your goal scores, Tony.
I'm going to say Harry Kane will get 2.
Yeah.
Anthony Gordon's going to get on the score sheet.
Yeah.
And an assist.
Yeah.
And other goal scorer, Phil Foden.
I'm going to go with Harry Kane with 2. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to go with Anthony Gordon.
Mm-hmm. Kishan says the media are saying that we need to sell big players to balance the books, but we can sell some of our squad players to make that up. Absolutely, we can.
First shot, and you know what it is. I've said to yesterday on the post on the tweet yesterday, said that would they do this to Saka? No, they would not. They will not carry on to Saka. They will not carry on to flipping Garnacho, right? Well, I don't rate, by the way. They wouldn't have done it to Foden, right? If Real Madrid came calling for him. Why has it got to be in Newcastle? Why, and why? I think it's about time now the club comes out and say they're going absolutely nowhere, draw a line under it. That's it.
Yeah.
But you see, they won't do it, Tony.
Yeah. Nicola Dalby comes out with a good point. Remember last season we were going to sign Barella, instead signed Tonali. No one other than the owners, the scouts, and the manager know our targets. Prepare for a stunning summer. Well said, Nicola. And do you know what it is?
There you go, Nicola.
What really gets me is all these pundits, media out there, journalists, all think that we've only got so much to spend in the window. Look, they don't know how much our budget is. Only our club know. And the club are never going to leak how much they've got to spend. So if the club go out there and spend 300 million quid, people can go, wow. And the media may go, wow, we didn't think they had that much to spend. So you don't know. But remember, we got the seller money, the Champions League, the Adidas, the new sponsorship, everything. So look, and any other sponsors coming in, we've got more coming in. So yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, Nicola. And let's look for a stunning summer. 5-0 says Trevor. Lee says, totally agree with you. Tony Gordon, outstanding. Deserves his place in the England team. Absolutely. 5-1 for England, says Lee. Foxy says, I'm going to go with 2-1. With Miggy scoring the winner. Paraguay 2, Peru 1. There's Copa America started now, hasn't it?
I'm not sure if it has. If it has,
or is that a friendly?
That could be a friendly. That's a friendly.
Ethan says, apparently the figure we need to make by the 30th of June is £38 million to reports that say today.
The thing is, right, there's fears. Get rid of it, man, because you're actually killing the Premier League. And you know what? I got a question quickly, right, just off tack. Do you think Man City's going to win the arbitration?
I think they will, because the Premier League don't want it to win; they want it to stay. So, I think we'll win that. I think Man City will win that arbitration, and we'll be better off for it as well. I hope they do.
I agree.
It's about time the Premier League were blown wide open.
Fact. Absolute fact. And it's about time that they say the Premier is the best league in the world. Is it? I mean, if you're not going to get the best players, you made a good point, Tony. If they're not going to get, that means we're not going to get the best players in the world coming to the Premier League if this PSR is going to come into play. I think Premier League's destroyed it. And if Man City wins it, it just opens a whole can of worms to the Prem.
I mean, Carlos says there, look at Isak come out the blue, no one knew. Absolutely. Exactly. I mean, the thing is, if you remember, Fabrizio Romano put out Ciao Pedro, here we go. And then all of a sudden it just went quiet. And that was like blown away because Isak was available. And look how that turned out. So, yeah, we just have to wait and see. Michael McIntyre said we're playing Iceland, mate, in a friendly. We'll keep things under wraps, not letting the media know, says Lee. Absolutely, mate, as well. And I think Man City will win as well, says Kishan. Yeah, guys, so we're going to wrap up in a moment. Obviously, if you don't want to listen to the commentary of the TV, you can always turn that on mute. You can nip to the Toon Review. Paul, Billy and Alex, I think, are doing a watch-along there. So they're doing a watch-along. So if you want to go and watch their commentary, turn your TV on mute and listen to the guys there. Before we go, John, give your channel a shout and also what you got coming up.
Thanks for showing us on, Tony. And you know what? Thanks to the chat as well. We love you all. I tried to get Mama Flossie, but you know, it's on your channel, so she couldn't do much about it. But thanks again, Tony. I should be doing a show on Sunday. It might be a show to do with Shelley Crawford. She could be come back on Sunday. I think it's 2:00. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you follow us on John Sinclair TV, and I've got nearly 9,000 subs, and so it's going really well. And it's all about grinding, working hard, and get yourself out there. Don't give up your dreams. Just keep doing keep up the good work, what you're doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. And Saturday, I've got no idea yet. I know Peter's going to be busy tomorrow, I think. I could have got you on to do keep, loan, or sell. But if it's not going to be Sunday, we could do it on Monday if you're free.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Yeah.
So, but I'll let you know if there's any change. I'll let you know as well. So, yeah, that's what I got coming up. So, and if you haven't watched me and Flawless yesterday, please give it a watch, give it a like. The one I did with Flawless joins JSTV, and Flawless is a great guy, big Man U fan, and he's one of the biggest podcasters out there. He goes on League on his channel, and Jess, I think it's Jess as well, but he definitely goes on Lee every week. So, other than that, just. You know what to do, guys. Just like and subscribe to my podcast if you're new.
Scott says, do they like South FFP? Yeah, they do. I mean, but we never hear them being in crisis as much as the Premier League is. And I think eventually, if this carries on the way it is, big players are going to start saying, we're not going to the Premier League, and they'll go elsewhere. And the Premier League will be the big losers at the end of the day. So they have got to stop doing this. They've got to sort this out. This is beyond the joke. Lee says, been a great show tonight, Tony and John, everyone. Have a great night. Come on, England. Keep cooking that pot, John says.
There you go. There you go. There's my wooden spoon there. Cooking the trolls. Cooking the trolls on Twitter. You know what I mean? Cook them, marinate them, season them, bang them in the oven.
And yeah, so for me, this is my channel. It's All Black My TV. So if you're watching on another channel, then obviously you can always come over and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, give this a like as well. It'd be absolutely fantastic. I'll probably may do a review show of the game tonight, so it'll probably not be tonight, but probably tomorrow. As I'm having a bit of a busy weekend as well, but do check that out, and I will have some shows coming up, and definitely next week. For next Thursday, there will be a countdown to the Euro starting on Friday. Then I'll probably do a roundup on the Friday night because we'll have had the opening ceremony in the first game. And then every night there'll be a Euros roundup round about 10 o'clock every night, or maybe 10:30, whatever it is for the timings wise, depends on what time the matches finish. And then we'll have a look at the day's games and see what's happening with England, things like that. And look, it really should be a cracking tournament, and just let's hope England do it, you know. I don't like when some fans, you know, slate it and say, oh, you know, they're just asking why England are playing this and we don't like England and all this. And say, no, one at the end of the day, support your country, support the players, you know. At the end of the day, let's get behind the lads. I'll have my flags out next week for England, so, you know, they'll be out and they'll be flying high. And look, you know, we've got the finals of the last one, the last Euros. Let's make it a step further. Let's go and win the bugger this time and bring it back from Germany. That would be great, especially in the year, you know, when we've just had D-Day yesterday. Yes, we had D-Day, the 80th anniversary yesterday. Big up to those veterans, because if it wasn't for them veterans, we wouldn't have the world we have now. You know, they were very brave to go across there in the boats, to go and fight them on the beaches. As Winston Churchill said, we will fight them on the beaches, and he was absolutely right. We fought them on the beaches, and we won the war because the Germans surrendered. You know,
exactly.
So let's enjoy. Jockadoni says not again. 1,000 lines this time for crying.
Bless him.
Lee says, going to be opening the new fan zone, have to call it over a drink if you are there. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a shame we didn't have the fan zone ready for the Euros, because I reckon that would have been a game changer. That would have been absolutely packed. But I'm sure Shearer's bar is going to be packed for the Euros as well, so that's going to bring money into the club. You know, and I'm sure other, you know, all the pubs will be making a fortune out of this as well, because, you know, everybody likes to go and watch stand in the pub, even if they're not drinking alcohol, they're just drinking Coke or whatever. They're just sitting there enjoying themselves, having a soft drink, watching the game. Do you know what? It's all money at the end of the day. So it's all good revenue for the pubs and everybody involved in restaurants and things like that. So we look forward to that. But we're looking forward to the game. That kicks off in about 8 minutes. And come on, England. But remember, the future is bright. The future is definitely black and white. And make sure that if you haven't got it, I've been told that apparently there's very low stock on these online at the moment, the new top, but the new top is absolutely fantastic. And
it is.
I can't wait till mine comes, and I'll tell you what, I bet it's quicker than what Castore delivered as well. So
totally
Adidas will not be messing about. They're not a small company like Castore are. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this show. Please don't forget to drop the like and the subscribe. Until then, it's bye-bye from me.
And a wheel, lads. And have a good evening. And bye from me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. How are the lads?
Come on, England!